And in this segment, we are going to get into some fan-submitted trades, see if they make sense, they don't make sense. I'm excited for this one. We haven't done it before. I think that we are starting with, is it a Walker Kessler for Mitchell Robinson and picks trade? And that's from Green Panda GP on Twitter. Kessler, look, Ainge has held a high price on Kessler for a while. I know that the Lakers were knocking on that door post Luka Doncic trade, and I don't think he's going to end up in LA. But I do think that when you're talking about that draft compensation, it's got to be pretty significant if you're asking Ainge to take on salary for a young player who they clearly value. I think the draft compensation, the Knicks probably don't have it in their war chest there to make that move. And I don't know. What do you think, John, about getting Walker Kessler in here?
Yeah, I'm just looking in terms of any cap exceptions that the Jazz have, because the money for that one doesn't work. And yeah, I'm looking at it right now. They don't have a salary cap exception that they'd be able to slide Mitchell Robinson into because he makes a decent number. Walker Kessler's an interesting one because he kind of fell back in their rotation a little bit last year. Didn't always start games. This year he's had an okay season. They've been terrible, so it's tough to judge anything that's going on over there in Utah. But based on the reporting from the summer, it seems like they want a lot, and they should want a lot. I think he profiles as someone who could at the very least be a top 10 defensive center. He has enough skills on the offensive end to keep you honest. If I was Utah, I would want, multiple first round picks, including a really juicy trade asset. And even if, for argument's sake, they were comfortable giving up Kessler for like the Knicks, 2030, first round pick swap. If you're the Knicks, that's like the last really valuable asset you have right now, at least until the summer when your 2032 pick will become available. So, are you gonna expend that asset? Let's just pretend that the money worked out, right? Are you going to expend that asset on a guy where, it looks like you're kind of all in on Towns playing at the 5? You've been going, you're 51 games in, the vast majority of his minutes has come at the 5. I just don't see a match being made there.
Marc, I want to hit you on this next one from Knicks Feed. Now he or she is suggesting Javonte Green or Gershon Yabusele for Jericho Sims. Green, the money wouldn't work. I believe Yabusele, the money would work for the Knicks. Philly, they just made a trade, so financially they have the opportunity to offer Yabusele a significant contract. I don't think you're getting him unless you're attaching a lot of draft compensation in addition to Jericho Sims. But Marc, your thoughts on that deal?
Well, let me just add something about Mitchell. Obviously, his trade value is at the bottom right now. And if you remember how amazing he played against the Cleveland Cavaliers, naturally the Knicks may never get to see Cleveland because they're matched up with Boston probably in the second round. But right now, if you'll probably want to trade Mitchell Robinson in the summer, especially if he has another injury. But I just feel you roll the dice, you get Mitchell Robinson back. I think he's the wild card player that could get you past Boston. The Knicks, to me, right now are second round and out, currently constituted without Mitchell. Towns has been great at the 5, but you need a backup, just like the iHeart situation last year. You need Mitchell Robinson. Cross your fingers. He's healthy. He does Mitchell Robinson things. There are very few players in the NBA that does what Mitchell Robinson can do. So, like I said before, unless you're getting a real package for him, it's ridiculous to trade him for Walker Kessler, who has just lost a lot of games with the Utah Jazz, who just lose, as Macri said, has been in a losing situation, a losing environment. All he knows is losing in the NBA. I know with Yabusele, I know there's a Knicks scout who still works there who used to really like him. And the Knicks had tried to trade for him a few years ago. I wouldn't be surprised if they added him. Can you get Sims for him? I think the Knicks would do it in a second. But Yeah, I still feel the buyout market could be a better situation for the Knicks in here. But regarding Mitchell, I think we forget how amazing Mitchell was 2 years ago in that Cleveland series, and how much of a wild card he could be in getting them to the NBA Finals. Right now, the Knicks look like second round and out, with the Boston Celtics looming.
And I think, Marc, from a sentimental perspective, not that this factors in, but longest tenured Knick, been through a lot, bad seasons, developed here, grown here. He deserves a shot to play with what would be the best Knick team since he's been here. So I'm glad it looks like he's going to get that shot. We have another deal from a fan here from AMR Mets 15 on Twitter. Looks like a three-way deal. Knicks getting Sexton, Drummond, Yabusele. Sixers getting Precious, Jericho Sims, Tyler Kolek. And Utah getting Mitch, Pacome Daddier. And that would be Eric Gordon. Okay. Yeah, I think going back to Philly, like with Yabusele, they would never do Yabusele for Jericho Sims straight up. And I don't think they would. I think they would say no in terms of answering that question. Who would say no? So I think let's get to the next one because that one, it's a little bit interesting. Austin Reaves for Mitchell Robinson from Jordan CZNYK, because we know the Lakers, they do need a center. We've talked about Mitch and why he's probably staying. I don't think the Lakers would offer Austin Reaves for Mitchell Robinson straight up. I think you'd have to put more on the table if you're the Knicks to get Austin Reaves. But we've talked about why Mitchell Robinson is likely to stay here. What would LA have to come up with as an offer for John, for you to say, all right, you could take Mitchell Robinson, I want back what you were offering?
I mean, Reeves frankly, is not a name I had even contemplated in connection to the Knicks, because he is obviously a defensively challenged perimeter player. And I just don't think, even with Sexton, in the previous fake trade can defend a little bit, but he's still whatever he is, 6'2". I just don't think the Knicks are in the business of going out and acquiring players who, perimeter players who they don't feel comfortable being able to put next to Jalen Brunson on the perimeter. I mean, Deuce McBride is here already. And I think you see even him, and this was obviously the situation with Emmanuel Quickly, because Tibbs is only going to trust these kind of smaller backcourts, especially someone alongside Brunson, so much. So I don't know that there's anyone on the Lakers that I would say is an obvious candidate to come back. I mean, they have a guy that I wanted before he got traded to LA in Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't see any reason why the Lakers would want to turn around and move him just after they got him. But if I was going to pick someone on LA that I would say, yeah, I want that guy, it would be Dorian Finney-Smith for sure.